So you click on this video to help you make up your mind on deciding your roles for the October banner. If you have a waifu Uma, then definitely roll for it first. Should you pull for Fuji Kiseki? No. Should you pull for Gold City? No. Should you pull for Summer Maruzensky and Special Week? Maybe. Should you pull for Meisho Doto? Maybe. Should you pull for Eishin Flash? No. That's it for the Umas. Should you pull for Mejiro Guts? No. Should you pull for Vodka and Nishino Flower? No. Should you pull for Tosho and Ticket? Maybe. Should you pull for Special Week and Teio? No. Should you pull for Nice Nature? Maybe. And with that, we finish the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, I'm joking. But here's the priority list in my opinion for the banners. For the S tier, definitely Summer Maru and Special Week is at the top. A tier is followed by Meisho Doto, Tosho banner, and Nice Nature. The other banners is not really recommended. If we break it down even further, depending on your favorite distance style, for frontrunners, the banner is Summer Maruzensky. For Pace Chaser, the banner is Meisho Doto. For Late Surger, it's Special Week and Nice Nature. For End Closer, it's the Sweep Tosho card. I'll go a little bit more in depth on the banners, starting from the meta pick banners up to the non-recommended banners. First up, we have Summer Maruzensky. Summer Maru will be the meta runner up until she is replaced by Valentine Mihono Bourbon in the future. The main deciding factor when pulling for this banner is, are you a meta chaser? Do you like winning the CMs? If your answer is yes, then roll for her. I also want to point out that some people might think that having Summer Maru makes you automatically win. This is wrong. You actually have to put in more work because she is also a frontrunner, and you cannot skip all the groundwork and the parent grind. So the next question is, do you love the parent grind for frontrunners? Because a half-ass Maruzensky with no groundwork is still going to lose to other style runners. If you also love frontrunners, you'll also be pulling for Summer Maruzensky's speed support card in the future, which almost have everything you want for the frontrunner. But you cannot run that card for Summer Maruzensky herself, so that's something to consider when pulling for this banner. For the kit, Summer Maruzensky herself is really strong. She has 15% bonus on speed, 15% bonus on width. As for distance, she's pretty much good for all the distance racetracks, and she's really strong because of her unique. This unique activate in the middle part of the race if you activate any recovery skills and you're above the third position. If you activate the recovery skill before the 50% mark, then the skill will automatically activate at 50% of the mark or half of the race. However, you can also manipulate how this skill actually works. If you only grab one recovery skill, which is 777, then this unique skill can activate on the 77 meters remaining mark. However, it is definitely recommended to take more than one recovery skill, because if you don't activate any recovery skill, then this unique is actually useless. Looking up at her kit, she also has a pretty good cold recovery skill, which is called Restless. On top of that, she is really good on the Mall Distance Racetrack because she has the Speed Eater skill and the Mall Maven skill. If you want to sweat really hard and vote Summer Maruzensky for this Cancer Cup, then this skill is actually really good to block the Smart Falcon. Because if we see right here, at this skill activate at the very first phase, and if you're in the first position, then the skill activates. So if you're in the first position due to your groundwork and you activate this skill, then you have a really high chance on blocking the Smart Falcon, which is assumed to dominate the next CM, because her unique activate at the first phase instead of the phase 0. This banner is also paired with Summer Special Week. If we take a look at her kit, she has 10% stamina bonus, 10% power bonus, and 10% on guts bonus. As for the distance, she is pretty much only good for medium and long distance racetrack. Her unique skill is actually really good, as you will be running her in a late surger. She'll be in between 2nd and 7th position anyway, and if you activate at least any 2 skills in the middle leg, then she will gain a 5.5% stamina recovery, and she also gain a bonus speed on top of it. She also has a pretty good gold skill, which is Fast and Furious for your late surger. She also has Tailhead High, and she also has the coefficient of Ramp Up. Next up, we have the Sweep Tosho Speed card at 0 LB is actually already really good. However, if we can get this card on 1 LB for the skill point bonus, then it is actually really massive. This card actually doesn't get a lot of improvement on 1 LB up to the 3 LB and MLB because it's only technically just a mood bonus effect. So the breaking point for this support card is definitely 1 LB for the skill point bonus. However, the main reason you want to be pulling for this card is right here, Straightaway Spurt. If we take a look at her events, the first chain event is actually a Straightaway Spurt hint. However, this is also a little bit of RNG, as you can get either the mood down or the Straightaway Spurt hint. But having a guaranteed hint event instead of farming Straightaway Spurt hint from cards like Kishi Amazon is definitely definitely better. Strip Tosho banner is also paired with the winning ticket stamina card. This card is actually not really good because it doesn't have any specialty priority on this effect. So this card is a bit lacking if you want to fit it on your deck. And the gold skill provider from this card is actually not really good. Hard Worker is actually not a really good gold gambling extraction skill, as this overtake mostly will happen on the early or middle part of the race. Is actually useless. Next up, we have Meisho Doto. Meisho Doto is actually a decent base chaser. If we take a look at her kit, she has a 20% stat bonus on stamina and 10% on guts. As for the distance, she's pretty much good on medium and long distance racetrack. What makes her a good base chaser is her unique. This unique is actually really similar to Karin-chan unique. However, Karin-chan unique, the activation condition for Karin-chan is definitely tighter than Meisho Doto. Meisho Doto unique happens on a late race and if you do an overtake. So this skill is actually really good because you can make a setup for this unique. For example, you make an Uma that dies on the early part of the late race, so this unique actually activates automatically for Meisho Doto at the correct point of the race and she gains the extra acceleration, which is really huge. As for the innate skills, she has a pretty good gold skill for the base chaser, which is Speed Star. This is from the Fine Motion event hints, and this is a really good gold skill. She has an okay gold recovery skill, Indomitable. For the late surger, we have the Nice Nature with card. If you are maining late surger, then this card is definitely a must pull in my opinion because you get the on your left acceleration skill, which is a really nice acceleration skill for the late surger. If we take a look at the effect of this card, at 0 LB, it already provides a really good effect. It's only missing the race bonus and the fan bonus. This card also gains a whip bonus on 1 LB. So this card is pretty much similar to Fine Motion, where she gets really good at 1 LB. Definitely, the stopping point for this card is also at 1 LB, as getting it up higher to the MLB only gives you race bonus and fan bonus, which you can kind of skip. If you are not maining late surger, then this banner value falls off really hard. The next question then becomes, do you have MLB with cards that is really good on your deck, or at least 1 LB Fine Motion? If you have any of these, then definitely do not roll for this banner. However, if you are lacking a bit on the with card, then you might consider rolling for this banner, because at 1 LB, this card is already a really good with card. Now we will touch on the non-meta banner, starting with the Fuji Kiseki banner. For her kit, Fuji Kiseki has 20% on power, 10% on width. It's not the best stat bonus you can get. As for distance, she's pretty much good for short, small, and medium. Her unique skill, Light of Autofill, is actually really similar to Ogre Cap. It activates on the final straight when she's above the third position, and there's an Uma behind her for above 1 second. This skill is really good because it gives you a massive speed boost basically on the final straight on the last stretch. Whereas Ogre Cap is on the 200 meters remaining, this skill will actually be changed on the JP version later on, where the condition will be changed on 300 meters remaining. As for the innate skill, Fuji Kiseki has a pretty good gold skill which is Big Sisterly. This is just a gold speed skill. She also has small corner for the long distance racetrack, and she has a good gold recovery skill, race planner for the pace chaser. Fuji Kiseki is a really good pace chaser, but if you have Ogre Cap, then her performance, to be honest, is really similar to Ogre Cap, and that's why I don't really recommend pulling on Fuji Kiseki. The next banner that we have on the list is Mejiro Ardan's Guts card. If we take a look at Mejiro Ardan's Guts card, at 0 LB, this card is actually a pretty good card. Because you gain an SP gain bonus, you get a power gain bonus, you also already get the specialty priority. However, with this card, you're kind of missing the increased training bonus, so this card is a little bit lacking on that side. On top of that, this card doesn't gain initial friendship bonus until the 3rd LB, so it's pretty hard to actually max bond with this card if you don't have it at 3 LB. On top of that, this card is actually a Guts card, and as of the current global version, Guts is not really meta until the 1st anniversary. The support hints is also pretty meh, and the gold skill given from this card is actually not really good. Unyielding is a gold speed skill where it activates when you are getting overtaken on the final corner. This banner is paired with Mejiro Ardan with card. This card is actually pretty decent for the pace chaser. This card is actually not really good until you can get it to the MLB, because at 1 LB, 2 LB, and 3 LB, you're missing out on the width bonus. At 0 LB, you don't gain any of the training effectiveness. As for the hints from this card, it's actually really good. You get left-handed, you get pace chaser savvy, you got pace chaser corner. This card is really heavily oriented to the pace chasers. Next up on the list, we have Cold City. It has a 10% start bonus on power and 20% bonus on guts. As for the distance, she's pretty good on mile, medium, and long distance racetrack. So her unique gives you an acceleration when you are doing an overtake if you're in the 4th position until the 6th position. However, the activation condition of this unique is after the halfway point of the race. This unique is actually not really good. It could activate as soon as the halfway point of the race starts, and the acceleration actually goes to waste. As for her innate skill, she has Slipstream, which is a decent skill. She also has a gold recovery, which is Keen Eye. However, this skill is actually not really good. It's only specific for the long distance racetrack. And the activation period for this gold recovery skill is actually the early race or the phase 0, so if you activate this skill too early, then this skill actually loses a lot of value. She has a pretty decent gambling exertion skill if you run her as a late surger, which is on your left. You also have Vodka as a star power card and Nishino Flower support card. Both of these cards are actually an okay card, however, they will get power creep really fast and I don't really recommend rolling on this. As for the special week Guts card and Tokai Teio speed card, both of these cards is actually not really good, so this is a hard skip in my opinion. Finally, on the banner list, we have Eishin Flash. If you take a look at the Eishin Flash, she has 10% stat bonus on power, 20% bonus on wit. It's actually a pretty bad stat bonus in my opinion. As for the distance, she's pretty good on the medium and the long distance racetrack. You'll most likely be running Asian Flash as a late surger due to her unique. Her unique is actually really hard to proc if you want the bonus speed. She needs to not get rushed, and she needs to be above the 3rd position on the final straight, and she needs to also maintain being in the 4th until the 7th position, up until the last straight. If you get rushed throughout the race, then this unique basically just doesn't activate, so you lose out on the unique. As for her innate skill, she has lane nature domain. Lane movement speed actually doesn't work until the first anniversary rework, so this skill is actually useless. As for her other gold innate skill, she has in body and mind. This is the gold version of home stretch haste, which is an okay speed skill to grab. That's all for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts about the banners. As always, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.